It is now confirmed, folks. As everyone knows, the Thunder took a big risk trading away Josh Giddey before last season. The trade obviously worked out for these Thunder winning a championship last year, but the one thing that everybody feared would be a result of this trade is now coming to fruition. Welcome into Thunder Digest. I'm Ryan Breeden. Today we're going to be breaking down the Josh Giddey, Alex Caruso trade exactly 500 days after the fact. But before we get into that, the implications, the narrative around the NBA right now, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. We are on the journey to 7,000 subscribers, out to show who the very best fan base in the NBA is, the only remaining undefeated team. So obviously, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so. It is completely free. But back to the point of discussion today. The things that I have seen on social media, on national articles, as well as on ESPN, I could not keep quiet about. I mean, see for yourself right here, right? An article that was written yesterday, Josh Giddey is proving the Thunder dead wrong with his latest improvement. Another one from a Bulls account that got nearly 1 million impressions. This trade is turning into one of the biggest fleeces in franchise history. That is the discourse going on around this leap that we have seen from Josh Giddey, who is still only 23 years old. He led the Bulls out to their best start to a season in the 21st century, got out to a 5-0 start, lost their first game the other night. But Josh Giddey is doing things that he wasn't able to do in Oklahoma City. We're going to get into why that is as well, how he's been able to take such a big leap. But it is undeniable. Josh Giddey is off to a phenomenal start to this season. 22 points a game, 9.3 rebounds per game, nearly 9 assists per game as well. He had his first triple-double of the season in their most recent game. And not only that, but Josh Giddey has also improved his three-point shooting to nearly 41%, and he's shooting nearly 50% from the field, almost 60% true shooting. Josh Giddey is certainly improving in the biggest areas that he was not able to be effective on with the Thunder, and that's a big reason why the Bulls have gotten out to the start that they have. Josh Giddey is the primary ball handler for this team. He is the primary facilitator, and he is big enough with his 6'7" frame. He can be an imposer as well, and that's the biggest change from Josh Giddey this season. He was always one of the tallest guards in the NBA, but he did not play like it in the first 3 years of his career, finally playing like he is 6'7" and using that to his advantage. And we compare it now over the last 5 games that he has played. This doesn't include the most recent loss. This is those first 5 games that they won. Very, very consistent, steady Eddie type of stat lines right here from Josh. Again, still an incredibly young talent out of Melbourne, Australia, was drafted 6th overall by the Thunder, played 3 seasons in Oklahoma City, nearly 30 minutes a game in each of those seasons. But you see what has happened since he went to Chicago, right? This year, the biggest leap for him offensively. Last year, you saw a massive step up in terms of minutes. He played only 25 minutes a game in his last year with the Thunder, played nearly 30 minutes a game in his first season with Chicago. Had some contract disputes as well. The Bulls didn't want to pay him his $25 million a year. They kind of were going back and forth a little bit. One of the last major contracts that was signed in this NBA free agency cycle with that contract dispute. Well, right now, there's no question about it. Josh Giddey is playing like an all-star, and he is playing like a franchise cornerstone and playing like a top 5 guard, a top 5 point guard, I should say, in the NBA at this point in time. So is this a bad thing for the Thunder? We obviously see the leap that Josh Giddey has had in the 2 years that he's been in Chicago. We see the major leap as a shooter that he has this year, the confidence that he is playing with. The answer to this question is kind of a complex situation. On its face, let's go back to the playoffs when the Thunder were eliminated by the Dallas Mavericks in 2024. I'll give you a second to look at this stat line and tell me if anything stands out to you. For me, look at the minutes played. In that first series against New Orleans, Josh Giddey played 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 31 minutes, and 29, almost 30 minutes. But then you look at what happened against Dallas, and you're thinking, where did all the minutes go? 16 minutes in game 1, and that was the most he played in that entire series. Most of it, he was getting 11 or 12 minutes a game. Why is that? The reason for that is because Josh Giddey, he really didn't fit into the identity of this Oklahoma City Thunder team and what the strengths were. And what Josh Giddey needs is the ability to be a primary ball handler for his team. A guy that is going to have a high usage rate on his team as well. Obviously, when you are on a court with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams, that's not exactly what your role is going to be. So if you're going to find minutes on the court with the Thunder, with Shai and J-Dub out there, you have to be effective in other ways. Josh Giddey could have used his size to be a tertiary guard that didn't handle the ball much, but was good to help your offense have one extra ball handler out there that was also capable of getting a rebound over other guys that would be considered small forwards or even power forwards, a guy that could push the floor in transition. He's not the fastest guard alive. We all know that. We watched him for 3 years, but he certainly has the athleticism, at least on the surface, to be a mismatch in terms of the court, from one side to the other type of game that the Thunder like to play. If he were to be a third guard in a quote-unquote big lineup where you also had Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein. It did not work out that way. He kind of lost his way in this lineup, never was able to fully get his confidence, didn't shoot the three ball incredibly well either, not only in that postseason, but really in his time with the Thunder, if we go back to it, right? 26% his rookie year, never got above 33% with the Thunder. A lot of it's because he didn't shoot as consistently as he does now. He knew that he was not the primary or the secondary or really even the tertiary scoring option in this offense. So to put it into those terms, really can't say that this is a bad trade for Oklahoma City. Now, I get it, right? Hoop Central, all those big accounts out there that have millions of followers on Twitter, they're gonna go over what's happening with Josh Giddey now. They're gonna post his stat lines. They're gonna post his areas of improvement. They're gonna talk about how he is an all-star, how he's a future superstar in the NBA, how he's thriving. All these things are true, right? When you get a triple-double against the Knicks, even though you lose, you're going to turn heads, especially when you're 10 of 19 from the field and you're dishing it and dealing it left, right, center. You get comparisons in certain stats saying he's the first player to do this since Nikola Jokic and certain things. It's going to get people excited, but at the end of the day, it comes down to one thing. You look at Alex Caruso and his contributions for these Oklahoma City Thunder in the 2 years now that he has been here. The Thunder do not win a championship without Alex Caruso. Love what We Are OKC had to say here, so I wanted to clip it, shout him out, and give him involvement. This has to be, at worst, a win-win for both teams. You can't really say that a team gets fleeced when you win a ring literally the same exact year that you trade him away for that player that you got in return. Again, it was a one-for-one trade that happened 500 days ago. You can't really call it a fleece when a team that you're saying got fleeced just won an NBA championship. And a non-Thunder fan here, right, saying, yeah, there's absolutely no way that you could call this a fleecing when a ring is involved unless Josh Giddey goes on to become a top 10 player in the league. There's really no scenario where that was a bad trade for OKC. I see people comparing this to the James Harden situation out of Houston. I say it's incredibly different, right? James Harden had a very clear role on that Thunder team. He needed the basketball more. It would have been very hard for him to get it, but he could have been a tertiary scorer for the Thunder. Josh Giddey just simply could not really crack the lineup in the ways that he wanted to. And the Thunder, he kind of was behind schedule when things moved quicker than they were supposed to move, right? Josh Giddey would have been a great rotation piece if the Thunder were only competing this year, maybe starting next year. But the Thunder have been the 1 seed in the West now 2 straight seasons. Won an NBA championship last year. Things picked up very quickly. Players found that next level of their game very, very quickly. Alex Caruso made game-winning plays against the Nuggets, against the Timberwolves, and against the Pacers. He locked up Nikola Jokic in Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals. I know Jokic can hit those pirouette shots from time to time, but not when Alex Caruso was doing this to him all night. I mean, just look. Getting over top of the screen, forcing chaos for Jamal Murray, making sure it's a bad pass. The Thunder went on that avalanche run in the second quarter, into the third quarter of that game. Just look at Alex Caruso's plus-minus in Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals. Plus 40. The Thunder were down 11 in the first quarter when Alex Caruso checked in, and by the time he checked out after 26 minutes of work, that game was absolutely wrapped up, gone, set in stone. So, yeah, you may see the headlines like this, people talking about Alex Caruso, Josh Giddey, saying, oh my gosh, Josh Giddey, his ceiling is so much higher than Alex Caruso's could ever be. That may be true in terms of an overall basketball player, but in terms of value for what this Thunder team needs, the Thunder don't need a Josh Giddey right now. The Thunder need an Alex Caruso right now. The Thunder did not need a Josh Giddey last year. The Thunder needed an Alex Caruso last year. That is why the Larry O'Brien is in OKC. That is why Sam Presti made that deal. So at the end of the day, let me know what you think, right? Make sure you leave a like, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on people talking about this, because it's a big thing, right? This has become a major point, talking about Josh Giddey's evolution, and naturally it leads to people saying, well, what the heck were the Thunder doing? What the Thunder were doing is putting together the best roster they need to win an NBA championship. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, Thunder off to a 7-0 start, the last undefeated team left. So we'll see how long this streak can go for. We'll have more videos on the channel cranking out for you every single day. I hope you enjoyed this one. Make sure you leave it a like. Let me know how you feel down below. But thanks again for watching this one of Thunder Digest. See you next time.